Hey, good morning everybody from Crooked River Homestead. My name's Tim. This morning I'm out picking some berries. Well, I'm hoping to. We're gonna see what we can find. We've been out about every morning now for about the last week, doing pretty good. We have here, when we bought this property, we didn't know this existed, but around this entire perimeter here, these are all blackberry, wild blackberry bushes. And we've been picking, probably about 6 to 8 pints a day for the last week or so. We've been real fortunate. They're coming out really beautiful. We pick some for in the morning, and then we put them out by the road for sale. So far, we sold, I don't know, maybe 8 pints or so last week, and really want to just thank everybody who's been stopping to buy some. Really appreciate it. We weren't expecting that. We weren't expecting to have all this. So we're very grateful, and we're trying to make the best of it. And so whatever doesn't sell by the road, Brenda's been freezing some for our smoothies in the morning. And she's also made, I don't know how many pints or half pints of blackberry jam, which is excellent. We've been enjoying that for the last week or so, and we're gonna have all kind more to have for the winter. So this is a real gift to us. We really weren't expecting this. It really changes our plans here, because now with all of this, we see there's gonna be a lot of work. These things just pop out of the ground, and I've mowed some of these over early in the spring with the excavator we had here when I kind of flattened this out, and they just keep popping up from underneath. They just don't stop growing. So we've been studying up about them, trying to learn about blackberries and what their life cycle is, how they grow. And now that we're out here picking them every day, we are really learning even more about them. And so we see our job for the future is really going to be to, once this season's over, we'll get out here in the fall, and we'll start clearing some of the brush and some of the trees and bushes, whatnot, that have just overgrown. We'll be able to start thinning them out and giving them trellises or whatever they need to grow, because they just want to grow. Let me turn around here and show you what I'm talking about. So everything you see here basically, and we've been picking through this for probably, like I said, about a week or so now. I'll just take you down this little section here. So pretty good area, and you can see there's some this morning. This particular area here we've been picking through so heavily in the last week or so that you can see there's quite a few that still aren't ripe, and that's most of them. And these berries are pretty small, although we did find some areas, whoa, trip hazards. We did find some areas out back. Here's some more, and this is some of the stuff we'll be picking this morning. And we do also have, and there's some more down in this area. They're just everywhere. It's just they're basically this whole all the way around the perimeter of this goes all the way back over there, and there's also area out back that is producing some. It's really overgrown, so they're pretty hard to get to, a lot harder, because I didn't get back there to clear any paths or anything out yet. So the ones out back, when we do pick those, I should probably get out there, I haven't been there in a day or two. They're really nice and big. There's a wide variety of like little ones and big ones, and so we're kind of learning what's what and what to pick and what to look for. I'll give you an example here, some more that we found. So basically, all of these plants here are blackberry in various stages of growth. Apparently they grow they're biennial, I think. And they grow, the first year they'll grow and they'll flower, and then the second year they'll grow, they'll fruit. And I'll give you an example here. You can get that in the shot. But There's a nice one here, and basically if you get up underneath here, you can see there's a bunch over here that up underneath here there's even nicer ones and bigger ones. But one thing you have to know about blackberries, and probably one of the reasons they're let me switch my arm here. One of the reasons they probably are, these are all blackberry here. I'll just walk back to the beginning a little bit. They are hard to pick because the thorns on blackberries are, I don't know, I guess you could say equivalent to a rose. They're really big, rugged, sharp, and I learned pretty quick, and I got my pants on today, but I started the first few days without long pants. I was just wearing shorts, and I stretched up my legs pretty good. And which reminds me, that's when we came last fall, before we bought the property, we came to walk the property, and it was late in the season, so late in the season, it was late fall or early fall, I don't remember which, but most of the berries had already been falling off or whatever. We did see a few when we walked the property. We knew, but like I said, most of the leaves had already fallen off, and there was a few berries. So we knew there was something here, but we weren't quite sure how much, and now we're finding out there's quite a bit. So I got my bucket here this morning. I'm just going to pick a few. I'm going to take a walk around. I just spend a few 2-3 hours in the morning while it's still pretty cool out and pick some. But yeah, we're having a good time with this. We see the potential here for being able to really benefit from this crop. Let's see if I can get this in the shot here. You can see there's quite a few here that are kind of in between, kind of growing. And so I thought I'd take you with me this morning, and we'll pick a few of these. I'll see how well I do. I can't pick and film at the same time, but I'll kind of show you what I'm doing as I go along here, and we'll pick a few blackberries. And thanks for joining us this morning. See what we can get this morning, and hope you're all having a good day. All right, here's a perfect example. When you look at this particular bush right here, it's not very big. It's only maybe 1.5 feet, 2 feet tall. And I've already picked a few off of here, as you can see, but it looks like it's pretty much picked over. But if you look over here, you'll see a bunch that haven't turned yet. They're just still waiting to get turned around. But up underneath here, if you look, you'll see a bunch more. You got to be careful, because if you shake the branch too much, you could risk some of them falling off. So you got to be careful. I like to get my bowl down underneath and just kind of pick them and let them fall into the bowl. But my technique basically is you just kind of touch them, and if they don't just kind of fall off in your hand, with a slight tug, maybe a little twist, it should just come right off. The only thing you got to watch for, obviously, are the big thorns that'll grab you. I don't think I can get a close-up. These are actually from last year's dead cane, but you can see thorns in there, and they will rip your skin right open if you're not careful. Now if you look in here, you won't see anything. I don't see any berries, just kind of looking here, but again, you can get up underneath, get down inside here, and you'll see there's some in here. You got to be careful. I try to get the bucket up underneath, and I will start picking those with my other hand, which is holding the camera right now. And all of these here are blackberry bushes, taller than me, so they're over 6 feet tall, some of them. And I really couldn't get in there with all the thorns and all the overgrowth. There's probably all kinds of berries up in there, but this needs to be thinned out, and that's going to be our job for this next fall and coming fall and next year, is to see if we can't organize this wild orchard a little bit better to take advantage of the berries without hurting the plants and knocking them off, and getting the most we can out of them. I can see this being a whole regular month-long thing for the whole month of August every year, given that we have the weather for it, obviously. But got a lot to learn, but we're having fun. Well, I've made it down from where I started filming over there, down this side. I probably got at least a couple pints in there. And I'm gonna head over in this area. There's still quite a few down in this area over here. Actually over on the other side too. And there's even more out back. But I don't see myself getting out there today. It's already getting pretty warm out here. Been I don't know, maybe an hour or two. So I'll probably just go another little bit more, and then we'll call that good for the day. I just hate to leave them sitting on there. There's just so many. You get to a branch where you'll pick a bunch, and then you'll see a bunch more that are going to get ripe over the next few days. So that's what's nice, is each branch seems to, not all of them, but a lot of them have so many berries on them that just ripen over time, so you can come back to them day after day. And I was up in this area a couple days ago, and there was some nice ones up in there. I dropped some trees down, got everything all tangled up and messed up. So once fall gets here, we'll be able to get this all cleaned up and get the underbrush cut away, and hopefully try to organize the plants a little bit better so it'll be easier picking for next season. Well, it's been a few hours I've been picking, and I got I'm guessing at least 4, maybe 5 pints. Made it out back this morning. Hadn't been there in a few days. Definitely looks like something else was back there making paths and eating some of the fruit. We know there's bears around here, and I'm sure they've been eating the fruit here for a while, but now they're in competition with me. Anyway, had a good day picking. We're really blessed to have this many blackberries here on our farm. Just grow naturally. It's going to be something to look forward to every year, and well, we're very fortunate. So thanks for joining us, and appreciate all the subscribers. And we're going to put these out for sale by the side of the road, and go see if the ones I put out this morning are sold yet. And then probably freeze the rest, make some jam, and who knows, maybe we'll learn to make some wine or something somewhere down the road. But at any rate, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for joining us. Y'all have a good day. Oh yeah? Oh yeah, tattletalers. See the berries? What do you mean you're not impressed?